International Women's Day, Teddy.
Yes.
This is a big one. Big one for us at Eggplant, but big one for us on the world stage. The Global Gender Report has just come out, and the frightening element of it is that they believe we'll reach gender parity in 99.5 years. What do you think about that?
Well, it's not surprising or shocking, but it also belies when you look at what's happening in our education system in terms of we see more girls coming out of university, more girls entering the profession. The problem lies is how we manage women in the workplace and how we help them stay in the workplace. That's where that statistic comes in. But I'm always optimistic. I think, we live in a time where so much is changing and changing fast. And the drive and the impetus, the enthusiasm, it's all there to really make a difference. And for me, that means we'll smash that statistic.
Good, I hope so. I'd love to see parity within at least my daughter's generation. I can't imagine it will be within mine, but
True.
We need to build for that as a near-term reality.
Yes, and when you think about children now coming out, I think they operate in a landscape where they don't see difference in the way that we have been ingrained with that understanding, acknowledgement, and that fight. Really, I don't think they have that same experience at all, which can only be a positive thing.
Yeah, I love how open they are. We were talking earlier when we were talking about typical gender roles and creating a workplace that is inclusive of everybody.
Yes.
And thinking of the school ground or the playground at the moment, it is just so open to so many different influences, but without judgment. How do we take that learning and apply it to the workplace? How do we create a multifaceted, multi-generational, happy sandpit for our people?
Well, I think we all have a responsibility and we all play a part in that. I think it is about the strategies that businesses operate from the top. I think it's about how we all as participants contribute to that in our own way and how we can influence. So from my perspective, for example, in the role that I play, I can inform our recruitment. I can help my team look at and question and challenge some of these status quos. So I feel that we all can participate in that. And also just seeing that the workplace is only enriched and enhanced by the diversity that we bring in. And I think that is when you look across some of the big players in the marketplace, PwC is taking 16-year-olds. Other firms are not even asking for CVs in terms of helping change their recruitment strategies. There is a drive from big governmental organisations to address how many senior women they have in on their boards. So I think we all participate and we all contribute.
Earlier when we were preparing for this, we were talking about Sheryl Sandberg and her use of the word
Yes.
bossy,
Yes.
and how bossy as a label actually has now become to mean that you don't have the right to be a boss.
Yes.
And if you apply that to a female scenario, all you're doing is undermining her ability to actually lead. So
Correct.
you're right with the words that we actually use, and we should strive for precision in language.
Yes, I agree. And I think Sheryl Sandberg made a very interesting point. And I think, as leaders in a business, it's one we should be really cognizant of around how we help everybody feel empowered within the business. And we should and must think about the language that we therefore attribute, A, to certain roles, but B, to certain genders. And I think we've all had that experience of seeing a preconceived idea of what a particular role or the language associated. So you say the word bossy, and I think, yes, we see that quite flippantly within the boardroom context as somebody going, oh, she's terribly bossy. And you think, gosh, you'd never say that about a man, But in challenging that and in helping people think about that perception, if you label a woman bossy, but you label a man assertive, that it has a different connotation within our general perception, and that carries within and permeates throughout.
I think in conclusion, let's just think about how we can take those different learnings or understandings of how to create like I said earlier, a happy sandpit. What does that mean for us in our current roles?
So for me, that's to kind of help my team and the business constantly challenge itself around, you know, what does diversity mean? How do we have an inclusive workplace? How do we be innovative? Are we prepared to be innovative? You know, are we the sort of business that constantly wants to challenge the status quo? And I think we are, definitely. So it's about kind of recognizing that to be inclusive and to really help everyone be successful takes hard work, and it takes us all to be prepared to work and make an effort.
You want to laugh. Agreed. I think trying to build for meritocracy is what we should be aiming for.
Those are the words I was looking. What I really think is that we should try to build for a meritocracy. That's our aspiration.
Well, you know, the International Women's Day theme is all about equality. So
yes.
It is equal for purpose, but it's also equal for success.
Yes.
And that's what we should be aiming for.
I couldn't agree more.